I thank God that your first lady, my wife, first lady of this ministry, the first lady of this church and North Carolina 3rd Ecclesiastical Jurisdiction, I thank God that she dresses like a first lady. Thank God for that. The lowering of standards are amazing. A preacher presented his wife the other day, and I guess you call that a flesh-colored dress. I don't know. It's black dress and flesh color. It gives the illusion that she's not wearing anything underneath. And I heard the preacher, when he defended her dress, by saying, first of all, he bought the dress. And then he said, I want to address people who don't know anything, who haven't been anywhere, who don't know nothing. So I guess our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore. Two, at least two.
Head on, because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now, you got to help some people, because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, furthermore, I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all. She mad to me. Because there's a double standard in church when it relates to women, and it's abysmal hypocrisy. You got outer shape preachers who rail on modesty but have never preached a sermon on obesity and gluttony. Our misogyny has become institutionalized and cloaked under spirituality. We have placed the full responsibility of warding off temptation on women without putting a demand of sexual discipline on men.
All right. Oh boy. Now, the dress that is in question, you'll see it, of course, posted as the thumbnail to this video, but I'm going to put it up on screen. I'm going to put it up on screen and I'm going to have it up there for the duration of this video. By the way, Jamal Bryant has a history of parading his wives around in scantily clad clothes, wearing little to nothing, revealing all of their assets and body parts, because Jamal Bryant is the type of guy who takes special care to make sure that the spotlight is on him and his woman, but him more so because he wants other people, he wants other men to look up to him. He wants other men to admire him and to look at his woman and say, damn. He wants other men. This is a pastor we talking about. Wants other men to fawn over and lust after his wife. If you think I'm lying, take a look at this. This right here is one of his former wives. Her name is Giselle. This was a chick he was married to first. I'm going to wrap up this little hissy fit, okay, that he had on stage. I'm going to wrap this up for y'all, and I'm not going to need an hour and a half to do it. All right. Essentially, his message was very plain and simple. Look, if you want yourself a beautiful, wholesome looking woman who values her dignity and reserves her sex appeal for her actual husband, then don't come to his church, because that's not what they do there. No, at Jamal's little sassy ass church, filled with nothing but hootenannies and weak men and dim-witted, loud and obnoxious women, their members would much rather look like somebody you pick up at a club or a bar rather than Sunday service. See, at Jamal's church, we don't have no pride or dignity over here. We throw all that out of the window so that we can look like the streets, because that's who we want to appeal to over here at Jamal's church. Because here we dress for the approval of Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So if our women have their titties out, curves on full display, ass clinging to the dress, highlighting their glute routine at the gym, don't look if you gonna be judgmental about it. It's Jamal's message. Yeah, I know it's probably real distracting and a full-on contradiction to the word I stand up here and try to preach to y'all every single Sunday. But you shouldn't be looking at my wife displaying herself like a lady of the night anyway. See, this is a you problem, not a church problem, because y'all small-minded. Y'all insecure is what he said. This nigga is standing up here in a pearl-laced jacket, standing up in front of y'all talking about natural bodies. The audacity. Nigga, like we don't know. And the quote-unquote white European standard, while his wife done had tummy tucks and BBLs and got on a full lace front blonde wig and wearing a ton of makeup. Just what the fuck are we talking about here, really? Who you think you fooling, nigga? Then he goes on to say, oh, if anybody got something to say about it, I'm the one who picked out the dress. We just bet you did. We just bet you did. We know you picked out the dress. The dress wasn't see-through. Okay, it wasn't see-through. You just handpicked it because it looked like it was see-through. It looked like it was due to the color of the fabric of the dress, which still means that you were chasing the look of a harlot and modeling your wife after the streets. Nigga, that's just as bad. You ain't fooling nobody. The intent of the dress was to appear as if you could see her skin underneath it, which is why it's colored to match her skin tone. But when you have an audience and a following full of cackling hens, they'll accept anything. Then he said, yo, if you coming home to a wife that ain't a insta baddie, then just go ahead and trade her ass in for another one.
When we walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself. If you don't have nobody that you excited about, trade that booger in and find you somebody that Negroes can talk about. How did you bag that?
This is a pastor talking. And these dumb bitches in the church went wild. They went wild. Like half of y'all do realize that he is talking about y'all, right? Out of shape, bad built. Like, how is this shit that he's saying even being taken seriously as a message from God? Bro, I'm telling y'all, these church house hens are fucking delirious and they're delusional. They wild. A man who's done nothing but make single baby mamas telling husbands in his congregation that if they don't like the way their wife looks, if they don't like the way their wife look no more, just go ahead and trade her ass in for a new one, for a whole new one. That is absolutely absurd to me. That's wild to me. And every hen in there was ready to jump through the goddamn ceiling from what he said, completely ignoring the degradation of wives and women and the sanctity of marriage and vows for unity, all for vanity. But it's all good because Jamal said so. It's all good because Jamal is preaching the word, y'all. What part of this is biblical? Trade your wife in because you don't like the way she look? Are y'all serious? And the whole church gave him a standing ovation for this shit. But you know what? The thing about this is anybody who really knows about Jamal Bryant isn't surprised by this in the least. This is, after all, the same demon that wanted to use his church grounds as a weed grow farm. I'm not lying. I didn't make that up. You heard me right. This is the same pastor who wanted to use his church as a weed grow farm.
New Birth is the largest land-owning black church in America. Wow. And so my position to my deacons is, why aren't we not raising cannabis? I'll be able to bring in black males. They're able to do it legally. I'm teaching them farming.
Oh my God.
I'm helping them to enhance the ecosystem.
This is also the same pastor who couldn't wait to stand in front of his congregation and recite the words, and I quote, "These hoes ain't loyal."
God help me, old saints, y'all forgive me, but I gotta tell you, these hoes ain't loyal. You gotta find somebody.
That one line, "these hoes aren't loyal," is that you're leaving a strong black woman to never cheat with an equal. You're always going to somebody beneath. The whole essence of the affirmation of black women was lost in that message to that soundbite.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Jamal Bryant, who is a descendant of the messy ass ridiculous Bishop Eddie Long, is once again back in the spotlight. Who could have seen this coming? This big loudmouth pearl wearing idiot stood on a stage and told his entire congregation that if they had a problem with what his wife had on, that's their problem, because he like it. But let me remind you all about the little messy life of y'all's favorite pastor. He got married in 2002 to his previous wife named Giselle. It's who's on screen now. That marriage was doomed from the start because not only did he have a daughter with another woman while with her, but apparently Giselle's own father refused and wanted absolutely nothing to do with their marriage, to the point to where he refused to come to the wedding at all. He was so vehemently against his daughter marrying this clown that he refused to have anything to do. He did not walk Giselle. Can you imagine a father that loves his daughter so much refusing to walk? That man he knew something. But this sermon from him just proves that today's Christians, they don't give a damn about nothing written in actual scripture. Christians, they don't study. They're biblically illiterate. And they only care or support preachers who give hall passes to their transgressions against biblical doctrine. That's what this is. That's why they stood up and was shouting all over the place. You go, Jamal. Because today's Christian believes that correction is judgment. Which is how we end up with niggas that wear little tight jackets with pearls on the shoulders and the collars, standing up in a pulpit collecting millions from their mentally retarded cult-like church, while making excuses for homosexuality and giving spiritual passes to biblical abominations. These niggas were not ordained or sent by God. They weren't sent to be leaders of men and women. Men like Jamal Bryant and Michael Todd are the very definition of pulpit pimps. That's what they are. And for as long as they have weak men and dumb women to support them all over the country in their congregation, they'll continue to twist, turn, and reject the actual biblical principle for self-glorification and self-righteousness. That is what we have here. Do not misunderstand. Jamal Bryant, the man who became a pastor and shepherd, teaching his followers how to be emotionally self-absorbed, while he prances around every city wearing designer clothes with rhinestones and pearls, toting a Bible around, talking about hypocrisy. The audacity of this nigga. See, I'm what you get when big words don't bring about confusion and understanding. Because I know who he is. But today's New Age Christians, they reject correction and invite corruption and chaos. You're not supposed to be an example of the streets. You should be completely unrecognizable to the streets. You should be completely unrecognizable to that which the word finds in contempt. But yet here we have a man who's been known for laying with whores in his own congregation and sitting down with OnlyFans models, talking about their inspiring, telling the church they shouldn't be holding his wife, the first lady, to biblical standard? Huh? This shit is nauseating. And I don't understand it. Imagine a pastor telling the people in the church not to hold his wife to biblical standard. If the world can't look at you and your wife as a reflection of holiness, then where the hell are they supposed to be looking? These niggas ain't leaders. They're stage performers, y'all. They're merely playing the part, y'all. See, real niggas know who Jamal Bryant is. He's a con artist. I'll never forget when he tried to go to the hood and got checked live and direct by a real hood nigga that didn't care nothing about his scriptures. They didn't care nothing about that Bible he was toting or his God. You think Jamal stood tall on that Bible? He be dragging around the city? Y'all think he stood tall, or y'all think that he got the hell up out of there as quickly and as fast as possible, humanly possible?
I can't holler at you, man. Check this out. This is what we want to know, right? I'm the streets, man. What I want to know, man, cold-blooded, man. You, like I'm saying, man, you say you for the people. You got our people all up in your church. You know what I mean? You're supposed to lead these people, man. And I mean, I understand that y'all stuff, but you had no answers for like, yo, man, then you come down here like late. Like, Tom, I've been on the ground like 100, like 300-something days. You down here now. Don't come.
What'd you do for Taco?
We don't want you nowhere in our city, yo. Like, you don't need, yo, we don't even want you on our streets. Like, you disrespect our streets, man. This me, PFK Boom. I was on the front, you disrespected up here north, and you came down there, you ain't even fighting no war with us, yo. You ain't had nothing on your shirt, you ain't had no guns or nothing. And then you fucking with our oppressors. Wow. What you mean, how? You fucking with Roland Blake and all them, man. You trying to kill us, man.
Where were you for
Yes, you
Tyrone
are,
West?
man. Well, we telling you are. The streets feel like you killing us, man. All right. We don't want you in our fucking city now. Then get the fuck out the whole city. Is it that easy? Then we can really get you the fuck out of here?
No, sir.
Well, check this out, man. Don't come nowhere down here no more. Wherever PFK boom at, don't come. I know you can tell your henchmen. I know you, yo, Tinini and all them. I know you before I seen right about all that. Get the henchmen. Don't come down here no more. Boom, said it. Me, as a man, the streets don't want you here. I'm speaking for them. So we see you here.
Okay.
So you said you won't come on my motherfucking streets no more, right?
I'm not coming.
Don't bring your ass down here no fucking more. I mean it, yo. On my fucking kids, yo. Cause you're a fucking disgrace. A guardian angel for Satan. For who? Cause you damn sure ain't guard me, nigga. Yeah, get the fuck up out of here.
What you do for
Fucking
Tyrone West
clown.
again?
Empower what? This dick, nigga.
He ain't want no parts. He get on stage and act tough on Sunday, but that's not him. These niggas are paid actors, yo. Here to collect your money and give you hope that one day you can be just as messy, reckless, and irresponsible as he is if you just follow him. And of course, pay him money. Because he walking with Christ, y'all. Christ got his back. One day, you'll be rich too. But only if you continue to give to pastor on Sunday. Only if you continue to give your financial offering so that God can work a miracle with it. Only in the church can you commit to marriage, have 3 kids with your wife, then go bust down every chick you want in the congregation, then get confronted about it, and then subsequently divorce that wife that you was cheating on. Only to be invited onto Roland Martin to talk about how you've changed and how God has restored you. But I guess God did a terrible restoration job on this nigga, because Dirty Dick Jamal went right into his congregation right after all of that and had found some new cheeks to split right after the divorce, and ended up knocking up a 17-year-old girl that he, of course, denied at first. But then later came out and had to admit that, I had another daughter out of wedlock. I created another single mom. But it's okay, guys, because only God can judge me. But old nasty Jamal was not done there. Because in 2015, he went on to make another black single mom with a masseuse. When he found out she was pregnant, he asked her to abort the kid because he didn't want nothing to do with her. But she refused. And then all of a sudden, here comes another kid, a son this time. So now that means that this, quote, chosen man of God had 6 kids. 6, count them, 6. 6 kids with 4 baby mamas running around. Let me say that again. Y'all's pastor, Jamal Bryant, had 6 kids with 4 baby mamas. And this is who these retards are following as an example of Christ. My fucking God. You cannot make this up. You cannot. This can't be real. Oh, and if you're feeling bad for Giselle, please don't. If you're feeling bad for Giselle, his first wife who he cheated on, had 3 kids with her, cheated on her, please don't. Because this retard tried to spin the block with this moron. She tried to spin the block with Pastor, even after all the shit that he put her through. Even after having multiple babies out of wedlock, multiple baby mamas, making multiple single baby moms, she came back, proving that she is just another dumb chick with a pretty face. Good to look at, but Doesn't really have anything between them ears working for her. Another dumb chick. Jamal Bryant is such a great example of how bad and messy the church is, that after he had all of them kids, he moved on and started dating Tweet. Y'all know Tweet, right? Oops, there goes my shirt up over my head. Oh my, y'all know Tweet, right? All of my fellow millennials, y'all know Tweet. That video was crazy back in the day. But apparently, he was such a terrible man to be with that once that relationship deteriorated and fell apart, Tweet came out and said that, I quote, I will never do church again. That's what she said. Turned her completely off from not only him, but the church entirely. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you were supposed to be bringing people to Christ, to God. This shit sounding like you playing for the other guy, for the other team. Y'all know how this man became a pastor, right? Y'all know how he became a pastor? It's because the messy-ass Bishop Eddie Long, who had his own drama-filled session with whores, and he was rumored to be sleeping with men, and it was just a whole mess over there, right? But he eventually got cancer and died. Yeah. So Jamal Bryant was under Bishop Eddie Long at the time. But apparently God wouldn't let him defeat cancer. So he died, and that's how you got Jamal Bryant standing up here in the pulpit yelling out hip-hop verses and representing for total damnation. Only somebody as lost and shameless as Jamal Pimpin' Ain't Easy Bryant could stand up on a stage and tell y'all that his wife wasn't improperly representing the church, y'all. Y'all just jealous. Listen, this man tried his best to find scriptures to support this nonsense he was spewing, but there's just a simple question that we can ask to solve this entire thing. And that question is what she wore something that she would wear to church? That's it. That's the question. That's it. The last bit of this video, I'm going to actually lean on scripture, since Jamal Bryant loves to use it to support his bullshit. I'm going to actually use scripture. The Bible talks about how in everything you do as a believer and as a Christian, it should be unto the honor and glory of God. You should be a representation of holiness, not sometime, not when you want to, not when you feel like it, but all the time. That is, if you want to play around and play the role of a Christian, if you want to be a part of the army of God's people. These are the rules. You don't get to change them just because you don't like them. You niggas want to be sometimey. And I'm telling you right now, according to biblical passage, God don't fuck with that. He don't fuck with sometimey niggas. Either you going to be this way and you going to follow my principle and my doctrine, or you not, and then I'm going to be done with you. I'm going to wash my hands because you a false prophet. That sometimey shit, that don't work for God. He don't like that. That's why it also speaks against the adornment of fancy clothes and jewelry. 1 Timothy 2:9. To dress modestly, not with expensive clothes. Then in 1 Peter 3:3. Inner beauty over outward adornment. See, because these things take away from the focus of scripture and doctrine. And it shines a light on the speaker in the moment. Grabs everybody's attention, gets them looking at stuff that they ain't supposed to be looking at and paying attention to shit that they're not supposed to be paying attention to. It takes away from what you're actually supposed to be there for in the first place. It's a disservice to the word. You're supposed to be shining a light on holiness and becoming the best version of yourself through Christ and living to please him and not the people watching you. But, you know, when you don't really give a fuck about the word or whatever, you just want niggas to ooh and oh my God over you, then you just kind of do whatever the fuck you want to do. And you say, fuck the Bible, fuck the scripture. I don't need that. I don't need that. I can just say a bunch of stuff to make these cackling hands in my audience feel good, and they're going to jump and scream and yell and shout, and we're going to be good. They're going to pay. They're going to bring them tithes, and they're going to bring them offerings. See, nobody forced Jamal Bryant to play preacher. That's something he decided to do. He wanted to do that. And if you're going to play dress up and pretend to be a servant of righteousness and holiness, then shut the fuck up when people are holding you to the standard that you told everybody you lived by. See, this is why I can't be a preacher. I already know who I am. So I wouldn't cosplay as a man of exalted holiness to y'all. I would if I was a fraud. I would if I had that kind of contempt in my heart, but I don't have that in me. To be fake. I can't. I know who I am. I struggle daily just like y'all do. So I'm not about to stand up here and act like I'm something that I'm not. I can't live up to that standard for y'all. I can't live up to that standard for a congregation. And apparently Jamal Bryant can't either. If this has taught me anything, then it would be a reminder of what I already knew. What I already knew. Which is that anytime you want to be financially successful and garner tons of unsolicited support, then all you have to do is tuck your balls, tuck them tight. Okay? Tuck your balls between your legs and then placate to women with words and make them feel good. You're going to win every single time. You're going to come out looking like a white knight every single time. You're going to be the man. You're going to be the man. But just remember that listening to a woman was how a man lost his position and favor with God in the first place. I'll let y'all later.